One of the largest parachute drops occurred at Mustula on the 14th of July 1944. The German garrison in the nearby town of Brive-la-Gaillarde convinced themselves that this aerial armada was delivering not just weapons but Allied troops as well.
The German heard the plane over Brive, and the rumor came a few days later that the Germans saw it was a parachutist brigade who has been dropped in a country. And when I heard of that, I said, if the German can sing that, that will be a very good thing.
There were people in Brive, civilians, which included the mayor, who were in touch with the garrison, and feelers were put out as to whether they might be willing to surrender.
So Brive's demoralized German garrison capitulated to the resistance without a shot being fired. For Jacques Poirier, it was a wonderful moment.
We came to Brive. I really saw I was like de Gaulle on the back of the car saluting. It was incredible.
How did a small group of resistance fighters from England find themselves in a position to accept the surrender of a major French town from the German army, reputedly the finest fighting army in the world at that time? To answer this, we need to go back to the start of the war in Europe. Adolf Hitler, who had been at the head of the German Nazi Party since 1933, invaded Poland and Czechoslovakia in 1939. The invasion of France occurred on the 30th of May 1940. The French army, which was one of the largest in Europe, was defeated in a spate of weeks. 100,000 French soldiers were killed in combat, and over 2 million, that's 5% of the French population, were taken prisoner and interned in Germany. Maréchal Philippe Pétain, an 84-year-old hero of the First World War, was brought out of retirement, and on the 17th of June he was nominated at the head of the government in Vichy. When listening to him announce the defeat of France over the radio, the French people were convinced he had a plan to fight back. The next day, Charles de Gaulle made a speech on the BBC, but 4 days later, the French delegation was summoned to sign the armistice with Germany in the same railway carriage that had been used to sign the surrender of Germany at the end of the First World War. For most Frenchmen, Pétain was a hero who had pushed back German armies at Verdun during the First World War. Some believe he was preparing a plan to fight back and to chase the Germans. However, on the 25th of October 1940, the old Maréchal arrived to assure the Führer of the collaboration of France. Thereafter, there would be two faces of France. That of the nation awaiting liberation but who collaborates with the enemy, and that of the resistance who would use all means at their disposal to oppose the German occupation. Very few Frenchmen were able to hear the broadcast of General de Gaulle, and even fewer were able to escape to England.